What exactly did Caitlin Clark see? That's the question WNBA fans couldn't stop asking after a heated moment during the Indiana Fever's matchup against the Phoenix Mercury sparked controversy across social media. The game was already intense. Both teams were battling for a crucial win. Emotions were running high, and every possession seemed to carry extra importance. Then suddenly, everything changed. A physical confrontation broke out on the court, drawing immediate attention from players, coaches, officials, and fans watching around the world. As players exchanged words and tensions escalated, cameras quickly turned toward one person, Caitlin Clark. The Fever superstar appeared to be watching the situation unfold closely, and her reaction immediately became a topic of discussion online. Fans began replaying the footage. Analysts started breaking down the incident. And social media exploded with theories about what Clark may have witnessed during the chaotic sequence. Was there something the television broadcast missed? Did Clark see what started the confrontation? Was there more happening on the court than fans realized? Those questions quickly fueled debate among basketball fans everywhere. Some viewers believed Clark had a perfect angle to see the entire situation. Others argued that emotions during intense games can make incidents appear different depending on where players are standing. Either way, one thing was clear. The scuffle instantly became one of the most talked about moments of the game. As clips circulated online, fans dissected every detail, every reaction, every gesture, every facial expression. And naturally, much of the attention focused on Clark and what she may have observed in those critical moments. So, what actually happened during the confrontation? What was Clark's reaction? And why has this incident generated so much attention across the basketball world? Stay tuned, because we're breaking down the scuffle, the reactions, and the key moments that have WNBA fans talking. The moment happened fast. 1 second, the Indiana Fever and Phoenix Mercury were battling through another intense WNBA matchup. The next, players were exchanging words, emotions were boiling over, and officials were rushing in to restore order. Just like that, what had been a competitive basketball game suddenly became one of the most talked about moments of the night. And at the center of the online conversation, Caitlin Clark. Almost immediately after clips of the incident began circulating, fans noticed Clark's reaction during the confrontation. Cameras appeared to catch her watching the situation closely as tensions escalated on the court. That was all it took. Within minutes, social media was flooded with questions. What exactly did Caitlin Clark see? Did she witness what started the altercation? Was there something happening away from the ball that viewers missed during the live broadcast? Or was she simply reacting to the same chaos everyone else was seeing? The speculation began instantly. As replay clips spread across X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, fans started analyzing every angle they could find. Some viewers focused on the players involved. Others focused on the officials. But many couldn't stop talking about Clark's reaction. That's because basketball fans know one thing. Players often have a much better view of what's happening on the floor than the television audience. They hear conversations. They notice physical play. They see interactions that cameras don't always capture. As a result, many fans wondered whether Clark had a unique perspective on the incident. Meanwhile, the game itself remained highly competitive. The Fever and Mercury were playing with playoff-level intensity, and emotions had been building long before the confrontation occurred. Physical defense, hard fouls, competitive energy. Everything pointed toward a game where tensions could eventually reach a boiling point. And eventually they did. When the confrontation broke out, players from both teams quickly became involved. Officials immediately stepped in. Coaches watched closely from the sidelines. And the arena atmosphere changed instantly. Fans could feel that something significant had happened. Even before replays appeared, people knew this wasn't an ordinary moment. The incident became even bigger once television cameras began showing reactions from around the court. That's when viewers started noticing Clark. Her facial expressions, her body language, her attention toward the situation. Every detail became part of the discussion. Some fans believed her reaction suggested she saw exactly how the incident began. Others cautioned against reading too much into a brief television clip. After all, emotional moments happen constantly during professional sports. Players react to dozens of things throughout a game. Still, that didn't stop the debate. If anything, it made fans even more curious. Because whenever a major moment involves one of the league's biggest stars, attention naturally follows. And few players generate more attention right now than Caitlin Clark. The Fever rookie has become one of the most talked about athletes in sports. Every game receives enormous coverage. Every highlight spreads instantly. And every controversial moment becomes national conversation. This incident was no exception. As the night continued, fans searched for answers. They wanted to know what triggered the confrontation. They wanted to know how officials would respond. And most importantly, they wanted to know whether Clark had witnessed something that explained the entire situation. The more people discussed it, the bigger the story became. And according to many analysts, the most interesting details were still to come. In Part 2, we'll break down what led to the confrontation, the reactions from players and fans, and why Caitlin Clark's response became one of the biggest talking points of the night. As fans continued replaying the footage, the biggest question remained unanswered. What actually started the confrontation? That's where the debate became even more intense. From the moment tensions flared, viewers immediately began looking for clues. Some focused on the physical play that had taken place earlier in the game. Others pointed to the emotional atmosphere that had been building throughout the matchup. One thing was obvious. This wasn't an isolated moment. The game had been competitive from the opening tip. Every possession mattered. Every rebound was contested. And neither team was willing to back down. That's often what happens when talented teams meet in high-pressure situations. The intensity gradually builds. The emotions increase. And sometimes a single play becomes the spark that changes everything. According to many fans watching live, the confrontation seemed to happen in an instant. One moment players were focused on the game. The next moment officials were stepping between players and trying to calm the situation. The crowd immediately reacted. Commentators began analyzing what they had just witnessed. And social media exploded. That's when attention once again shifted toward Caitlin Clark. Viewers noticed that Clark appeared to be carefully observing the situation as it unfolded. Because of her position on the court, many fans speculated that she may have had one of the clearest views of the entire sequence. Of course, nobody outside the players themselves can know exactly what each person saw. But that didn't stop the speculation. Fans zoomed in on clips. They analyzed reactions frame by frame. And they debated whether Clark's body language revealed anything about what happened. Some believed she looked surprised. Others thought she appeared focused and attentive. Many simply felt she was reacting like any competitor would during a heated moment. Regardless of interpretation, her involvement in the conversation highlighted just how much attention follows her every move. That's the reality of being one of the biggest stars in the WNBA. Every reaction becomes a headline. Every expression becomes a talking point. And every major game moment generates enormous interest. As discussions continued online, another interesting trend emerged. Many fans weren't just talking about the confrontation itself. They were talking about the growing intensity surrounding WNBA competition. The league has experienced tremendous growth in recent years. Television audiences are increasing. Attendance is rising. Media coverage continues expanding. And with that growth comes greater attention to emotional moments on the court. Fans are watching more closely than ever before. That means every rivalry, every disagreement, and every controversial sequence receives immediate analysis. This incident became a perfect example. A brief confrontation transformed into one of the biggest basketball discussions of the night. Not because anyone had all the answers, but because everyone wanted answers. As replays continued circulating, analysts began offering different perspectives. Some emphasized the competitive nature of professional basketball. Others focused on player safety and emotional control. Many pointed out that heated moments are nothing new in sports. Competition often creates intense emotions. That's part of what makes sports compelling. The challenge is managing those emotions without allowing situations to escalate too far. For players, coaches, and officials alike, those moments require quick decisions. And for fans, they often become unforgettable memories. Meanwhile, the The conversation surrounding Clark continued growing. Did she witness the entire sequence? Did she have insight into what sparked the confrontation? Or was the public simply overanalyzing a brief reaction captured by television cameras? No matter the answer, one thing was certain. The incident had become one of the most talked about moments of the game. And according to many observers, the most revealing reactions were still ahead. Basketball in Part 3 will break down the aftermath of the scuffle, how players and fans reacted, and why this moment continues generating debate across the WNBA world. As the game moved forward, the scuffle itself may have ended, but the conversation surrounding it was only getting started. Within minutes, clips of the incident were spreading across social media. Fans began posting screenshots. Sports pages shared slow-motion replays. Comment sections filled with theories. And one topic continued dominating the discussion. What did Caitlin Clark actually see during the confrontation? The reason fans remained so interested wasn't necessarily because Clark was directly involved. It was because she appeared to have a clear view of the entire sequence as it unfolded. For many viewers, that raised an intriguing possibility. Perhaps Clark saw something that wasn't immediately obvious on television. Perhaps she noticed the interaction that triggered the confrontation. Or perhaps she was simply reacting to the same chaotic scene everyone else witnessed. The truth is, only the players involved know exactly what happened in those critical moments. But that uncertainty only fueled more discussion. Basketball fans love breaking down controversial plays. And this situation provided plenty to analyze. As replays continued circulating, analysts pointed out how quickly emotions can escalate during high-stakes games. Professional athletes compete at an incredibly intense level. Every possession matters. Every foul matters. Every call matters. When competitive energy reaches its peak, even small incidents can suddenly become major moments. Many observers felt that was exactly what happened here. The Fever and Mercury had been battling hard throughout the game. Physical defense, aggressive play, constant pressure. The intensity never disappeared. Eventually, all that emotion boiled over. What happened next instantly became one of the most memorable moments of the night. For Caitlin Clark, the attention was almost unavoidable. As one of the biggest stars in basketball, cameras frequently focus on her reactions. Fans pay attention to everything. Whether she's celebrating a big shot, talking to teammates, or reacting to a controversial moment, people notice. That's why her response became such a major talking point. Some fans believed her expression suggested surprise. Others interpreted it differently. Many argued that people were reading too much into a brief television shot. Regardless of opinion, the debate continued growing. And as more fans joined the conversation, another interesting point emerged. The incident highlighted just how much attention the WNBA now receives. Only a few years ago, a brief confrontation might have generated limited discussion. Today, it becomes a national story. Every angle gets analyzed. Every reaction gets debated. And every major moment spreads instantly online. That's a reflection of the league's incredible growth. More viewers, more coverage, more passionate fans, and more interest in every aspect of the game. For many supporters of the league, that increased attention is a positive sign. It demonstrates how much women's basketball continues to grow in popularity. At the same time, it also means players face greater scrutiny than ever before. Every action is examined. Every reaction is discussed. And every controversy becomes headline material. That's exactly what happened following this game. Even after the final buzzer, fans continued debating what they had seen. Who was responsible? What started the confrontation? What did different players witness? And why did Caitlin Clark's reaction become such a focal point? The answers remained unclear. But the conversation wasn't slowing down. If anything, it was becoming even bigger. Because now attention was shifting toward the aftermath. How would players respond? Would anyone address the incident publicly? And would new details emerge that finally explained exactly what happened? Basketball in Part 4 will break down the aftermath of the scuffle, the reactions from around the basketball world, and whether fans ever got answers to the questions that started it all. As the dust settled, one thing became obvious. The scuffle between the Indiana Fever and Phoenix Mercury was no longer just a game moment. It had become one of the biggest talking points across the WNBA. Fans continued sharing clips, analysts continued breaking down the footage, and social media remained filled with debates about what happened and who saw what. At the center of much of that discussion was Caitlin Clark, not because she started the confrontation, not because she was directly involved, but because viewers became fascinated by her reaction during the incident. For days, fans examined every available angle. Some believed Clark had a perfect view of the sequence. Others argued that television cameras only captured a brief moment that couldn't reveal much at all. The reality? Only the players on the court know exactly what they witnessed. And that's often what keeps sports fans talking long after a game ends. Not every question has an immediate answer. Not every replay tells the full story. And not every controversy gets fully explained. Still, that uncertainty didn't stop the conversation from growing. If anything, it made people even more interested. As basketball insiders weighed in, many pointed out that emotional moments like these are part of competitive sports. When athletes compete at the highest level, intensity comes with the territory. Players care deeply about winning. They compete with passion. And sometimes emotions spill over. The key is how teams respond afterward. By most accounts, attention quickly shifted back to basketball. The Fever focused on their season. The Mercury focused on theirs. And both teams moved forward. Yet fans continued discussing the incident because it represented something larger. It represented the passion and competitiveness driving the WNBA's incredible growth. More people are watching than ever before. More people are talking about games than ever before. And every major moment now reaches a massive audience almost instantly. For many observers, that growth is one of the biggest stories in sports today. The league continues attracting new fans. New stars continue emerging. And rivalries continue generating excitement. That's why moments like this receive so much attention. Not because controversy is the goal, but because people are invested. They care. They watch. And they want to understand everything happening on the court. As for Caitlin Clark, the attention surrounding her remains unlike anything the league has seen in years. Every game is analyzed. Every highlight goes viral. And every reaction becomes part of the conversation. This incident was simply another example of that reality. Whether she saw something significant or was merely reacting to the moment, fans immediately wanted answers. And that curiosity helped turn a brief confrontation into a major basketball story. In the end, perhaps the biggest takeaway isn't what Clark saw. It's how much attention the WNBA now commands. Moments that once might have disappeared after the final buzzer now spark nationwide discussion. And that speaks volumes about where the league is headed. The questions may never be fully answered. The debates may continue. But one thing is certain. Basketball fans will keep watching. And the next big moment is always just one game away. What do you think? Did Caitlin Clark see something important during the scuffle? Were fans overanalyzing her reaction? Or was there more to the incident than viewers realized? Share your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you're enjoying WNBA coverage. Subscribe for more Caitlin Clark news, WNBA highlights, breaking stories, and game analysis. Share this video with fellow basketball fans and join the discussion. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.